Are you under the impression that Jalen Hurts is going to improve those numbers in Philly?
I'm hopeful that he will, but I think that the Eagles will be a less run-oriented offense than the Tennessee Titans were. So maybe he doesn't have 100 catches and 1,500 yards, but I think he's going to get more opportunities, even with Jalen Hurts, than he was getting in Tennessee.
Hey, I'll tell you something too, Chris. I give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit. AB to the Ravens, why not? Right? Why not? Why not, man? Why not? Tone, we ready for my boy Philly? Let me know when we're ready, brother. Start talking some. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up with my boy. Okay, let's bring in my boy Philly 500.
What's happening? Yo!
What's up? Brother, I want to do something for you here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to stir. And I want to see. Now you're starting to look like these guys because I stir shit up here. You ready? Watch
I'm ready.
it. Here we go. Why? There he is. A.J. Brown, man. Wow. My Z. Look at him out there. Devontae Smith. And in my slot, on a league minimum contract, Antonio Brown.
I love it. I love it.
Dallas Goedert and tight end. By the way, a 1-year league minimum deal. If he shits the bed, bye.
It's very interesting, right? Because for like about 2 years ago, I was like, when he got cut, remember he got cut by the Raiders and there was that long period of time where he wasn't signed. I was saying the very same thing. Take a chance at him. Go get him. Bring him. What do you have to lose, right? I totally thought that. But after watching him take off his pads and stuff and see what we saw last year against the Jets, I can't do it. I just really, can't do it.
I'm going to give you some precedent here. So wait.
Okay.
We're going to give a guy with 24 potential sexual allegations of rape $230 million. But because the guy took his shoulder pads off and was a toolbox in the Jet game, I'm not going to give that guy another opportunity to play. I could sell it to my fans like this. It ain't a risk.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna blow our locker room. The Eagles have too much leadership in that locker room with those O-line guys like Lane and Kelsey and them. They're not going to let that thing shit the bed like that. They jettison that guy in 5 seconds if he wasn't towing the line. Can you imagine? You would have the best offensive skill set people in the league,
right?
If you added that component. And I get it, man.
Oh, I know you're right.
But Philly, dude, if you want to roll the dice and get this kid to find out whether or not he's your boy, you got to give him everything he needs to try to win. And I'm going to get to that here in a minute, but I'm just saying, why not who would you rather have, Zach Pascal or Quez Watkins or AB as your number 3 guy? Nobody could cover him. That was the beautiful thing about Beckham in Los Angeles. The third best defensive back was covering him. You're not going to cover Odell Beckham.
No, I get it, man. Like you don't have to twist my arm that much, but I mean, I just don't want to deal with the crap. I just don't want to deal with the crap, especially, the other side of that too to me is I really want to develop Quez Watkins. Like, I want him to get snaps and play. If you have Brown, I think it's going to take snaps away more from Watkins than from Pascal. That's my biggest fear. Look, I would never have signed Deshaun Watson or made that deal until everything was clear. I was all for it with the Eagles if everything was clear and he was cleared of all charges and it was all gone. Obviously, it's not. And that is why they are the Cleveland Browns. and they've done nothing, right, in years. Now, not only do they have a problem with him missing a season, but you got a quarterback, Baker Mayfield, don't even want to play for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, from a football standpoint, you are 100% correct. But what about the other stuff? Like, my fear with Antonio Brown is he comes in that locker room and he looks at the quarterback and it's Jalen Hurts. It's not, Big Ben or Tom Brady. It's Jalen Hurts. And what will he feel like? Is he going to listen to this kid and what he's saying? Those are the things that I would worry about. But from a football standpoint, you're 100% correct, my gabagool friend.
Let me add another spin now here for you. So I looked up the statistics of A.J. Brown in Tennessee. He averaged 64 catches a year, 998 yards, and 8 touchdowns a season. Are you under the impression that Jalen Hurts is going to improve those numbers in Philly?
I'm hopeful that he will, but I think that the Eagles will be a less run-oriented offense than the Tennessee Titans were. So maybe he doesn't have 100 catches and 1,500 yards, but I think he's going to get more opportunities, even with Jalen Hurts, than he was getting in Tennessee.
So you think this is going to go 60-40, 65-35 when it comes to pass the run, and they're going to change this thing overnight and make him a passing quarterback, which he has struggled with.
He has.
And he's going to be now throwing the ball more. And that means more targets for AJ, in your opinion.
I think so. I think he's going to throw more. I don't know what percentage. Maybe 55-45, maybe 60-40. But I think they're going to come out and the plan is going to be to throw more. They're going to try to use play action. I think that's the plan. I actually will say this. If we are like late in the season, second half of the season, and they're going back to this run only or like majority running, I think that's a sign that he's not progressed enough, to be quite honest with you. I don't think they're going to go away from the run. I don't think it won't be their bread and butter, but I do think they're going to throw more. And if some of those throws come off of Jalen Hurts not running himself more, I think that's going to happen.
I'm going to throw this at you here, too, and here I'm going to add a question on to the tail end of this here. According to Pro Football Focus, the Philadelphia Eagles have 2 of the top 10 offensive tackles in the National Football League in Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. They have the best center in the game in Jason Kelce. They have the 5th best, according to Pro Football Focus, tight end in the National Football League. You have one of the top 10, according to Pro Football Focus, wideouts in A.J. Brown, and you drafted a first-round draft choice over on the right side with Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. My question to you is this now. Do you really give Jalen Hurts the entire year to go through and run through the tape? Or are you really going to waste all that talent? And I'll ask you something on top of all of this. I asked everybody else this. How close is this roster to the 2017 roster? And everyone said it's close. Well, you're really going to let that quarterback have the entire year if he starts shitting the bed to run through the tape when you have all that talent around him? I
think it could be better roster. To be quite honest with you, they're also a younger roster. I will say this. It's a great question. I'm going to say no. I don't think that he gets the leeway he got a year ago. I think he has got to go out and produce. If you're second half of the season, let's say you're week 10 and you're struggling to make a wild card, right? And you're about 500. He's not playing too well, and they think it's him. I think they could pull him. I think they would pull him. And I think if you put Gardner Minshew in as the starter this year, I think he wins the division. Now, I'm not saying I want Gardner Minshew to be clear because people always come at me when I say this. But I just think that being the fact that they went out and got him all the help that they did, and that they're trying to evaluate whether they're going to extend him, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be able to have the cushion that he had last year. I think that they're going to be a lot harder on him. I do.
You do agree then that Howie Roseman did not get those Saints picks and to have first round draft choices in the 2023 April draft to draft a safety. As of right now, June 24th, he's looking at that right now because he's hedging his bets, like Tone says. He's hedging his bets in a way that Jalen's going to be good. A perfect scenario, Philly. They get to the NFC Championship game, and he proves he's the guy. Then you can go in different directions with those twos. But if you shit the bed, you get higher in the draft order. Then you're going to land on one of those quarterbacks next year,
right,
in the top 15 picks. Do you see it that way?
Yeah. I do, but I think that the mindset isn't he's going to fail. We have to have these picks because he's going to fail. I think it's an insurance policy, but I think that they think he is going to be better. I think they think he's going to be the guy. He just needs to go out and do it. So I think they think he is the guy, but just in case, we've got this. I expect him to go out and be better, but just in case, it's a good thing you got those picks. It's a good thing Kamara may be suspended 6 games. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? So, if they need those picks, they'll use it. But if he's better, then I think I think they'll keep it. Here's the thing too. I don't know what he has to do to be the guy. I think it's going to be more of an eye test, really. Yeah. If they think he's improved enough, if they think that he's taken enough steps, then you got to stick with him. But if he's struggling, like if they're 500 in week 10, if they're 5-5 after week 10 with this schedule, and they're struggling to put points on the board and stuff like that, I don't think it's impossible they pull him. I really don't. I don't think he's got the leeway he had a year ago. No matter what happened a year ago, they were going to stick with him. I don't think that happens this year.
I'll tell you, that second week game, the first home game against the Minnesota Vikings, I think we're going to learn a lot about both of those football teams.
Yeah.
Because that Vikings team, with Adam Thielen and with Justin Jefferson, who wants a piece of Philly's ass for getting passed over by Howie, Cousins, underachieving win-loss-wise up there, that game's going to tell me a lot about the rest of the season for the Eagles. You agree?
Yeah, I think it's a great test. I can't wait to beat the crap out of that team, to be honest with you. I hate the Minnesota Vikings, man. I hate that team. I really hate that team. But it is a good test for both teams. But I believe that's a Monday night game, right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
And Kirk Cousins is the biggest Monday night primetime choker in the world. He puts up good numbers, though, but he don't play good in primetime games.
He doesn't. Philly, one thing that I mentioned to you, a couple last questions here. I mentioned this to you about the 2017 and 2020 rosters. The one glaring difference is this, though, is that the training wheels coaches that they have right now with Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon versus Jim Schwartz, who was a former head football coach with the Lions, defensive coordinator, Frank Reich, who's now a head football coach with the Colts, Doug Peterson, who's a head football coach now with the Jags and won the Super Bowl. I mean, the experience level on that coaching staff versus this coaching staff, it concerns me because, again, you got a training wheels quarterback and you got a training wheels coaching staff. That never really meshes when you see stuff like that. So, no, unless you have somebody like Josh Allen and McDermott up in Buffalo, I don't know. What's your sense with the coaching staff?
Jonathan Gannon scares the crap out of me. He scares me because he seems like, he keeps talking about how he's going to do a lot of the same things as he did last year. And I thought they were not aggressive nearly enough. They didn't blitz nearly enough. So he worries me. But I think Nick Sirianni, I look at what he did in season where he completely changed the philosophy to a running game. He was willing to do that. So that gives me hope that he can change things up. Just as, watching Jalen Hurts at the second part of the year, I thought start to get better. So those things give me hope. But, for whatever questions we have about the quarterback, I think it's fair to say the same questions apply to the coaches. Totally right.
Okay, this is probably the most important question. I'm starving right now, and I'm thinking meatball sandwich or a sausage sandwich.
You got to go with the old sausage. You know what I'm saying?
I know this, man. It ain't an Irish sandwich. It's
no.
Italian sausage.
I know. I love. I can't stop. I like the sausage. Pause. You know the food. I'm talking about the food. But
do you
yeah,
put any cheese on it or no? Do you just let it sit in there? Do you let it? Do you put?
I put a little cheese on it. I put parm on it. On the roll. Yeah, a little bit.
But beans, nothing else on there, right? Just put some cheese on it and roll with it, right?
Yeah, or fry. I like fried onions. You could put some peppers on it too.
Fried onions.
Peppers.
I like or peppers.
Peppers is good. Yeah, I mean, look. Do I look like a guy who hates food?
Hold on, 2,500. Both of us look like we're not half a sandwich guys.
We're the Belly Brothers. What are you gonna do?
Brother, I love you, man. Have a great weekend.
Love you too, man. You too. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, man. That's my boy, Philly 500. Hey, Tone, do we look like half a sandwich guys? I don't think so, man. Hey, my friends over at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. Know this. If you're hurt or injured on the job, fighting that attorney is one of the most important things that you could possibly do for you and your family. For the people, it is not a slogan. It's who they are. With over 800 attorneys strong at Morgan & Morgan, they are ready to do battle for you to get you and your family the fair compensation. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation is free. They're the biggest law firm in the country, and they are ready to do battle for you. Like I said, there is no case that's just a fender bender at Morgan & Morgan. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, tell them Big Sil sent you.
Many times when people are injured at a place of business, they don't realize they may have a case. The fact is, injuries should not happen. And most of the time when someone is injured, someone is at fault. Maybe the store manager installed a cheap, slippery floor, or there wasn't proper security. After an injury at a hotel, restaurant, store, or any place of business, it's so important to call us. Time matters, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.